nines. It's the strategic layer to Civ selection. If you bring something strong early, you could become more predictable later. And I feel like MarineLorD has got the perfect read here. We'll just have to see if he can turn it into a perfect game and go 2 games up over VortiX to put himself on match point, or if the Mongols will reign true in the Golden Heights.
Well, 5 villagers begin heading out towards that east side of the map. This is probably the most contested pond you will see in any single map during this tournament. This pond, so many villagers have been killed here. So many buildings lost.
Is that only because Cauldron hasn't been picked as much, though? I feel like I don't know, man. That game early in this series, I think Cauldron took the contesting away from me, just because like I've seen this eventually lead to a GG, but I think that's the perfect example of like a pond instantly GGing opponent. Maybe we'll see it here as well.
Yeah, you're not wrong. All right, well, I've got a feeling we're going to see a Rax down, and there's the Rax coming down. Yeah, so Rax into big Donzos. The Donzos are going to be able to defend the dock. Once the transport ship comes out, the transport ship's then going to be firing arrows at those units on the shoreline. Now, if I remember correctly, you can dodge transport ship attacks on land?
Yes, I believe so.
Might be wrong.
If I'm not mistaken, it's similar to the Delhi fishing boats, where like I had this for a while, where I thought they were perfectly accurate still, because they look like they're accurate, but they just miss. So you should be able to dodge it. And I think that's part of why he goes Horseman, right? It's very fast, but it feels very discredited, right? You're up against Donzos. Even if they can't reach you, those javelins will.
Yep. And take a look at this. We've got the villagers here that have collected some shoreline fish. They're just chilling out for the moment. He'll drop another dock, or he'll drop a dock down. And when he does do that, he'll be able to hand in all of the fish. But Donzo's here, looking to try and take out the Khan. Khan actually might go down. He's going to be managing to get a villager for it. I think the Khan managed to stay alive as well. So beautiful micro coming out from VortiX. Very, very typical of VortiX, having beautiful micro.
Yeah, he was so on
point in these games.
And keep in mind, like, MarineLorD gets his dock up on a delay, but it doesn't matter that it's on a delay. It's that transport ship play we were talking about. And the cool thing is with the proxy racks, he can just keep pumping out these Donzos. They either find value by garrisoning the transport ship to kill fishing boats, or they do this. They play the Mongols at their own game.
Yep. Yeah, I think this is a really smart move from MarineLorD, and yeah, great read by him. I'm curious to see exactly how VortiX is going to respond to it, though. I think that's the important thing. What's he got up his sleeve that can justify picking the Mongols here?
You have to go feudal. I think you have to come back to this pond on a delay. If you try to contest it now, you're likely to lose here. Like, the hybrid nature of these Donzos in early skirmishes makes them such a brutal unit to deal with. There you go. Eat spears.
Take a look at this. Look, I love the Vills getting their daggers out as well. That Donzo's still got a spear on him. Let's see if he just spawned. Oh, he could have gotten that one off, but yeah, really smart move there from VortiX to actually look to provoke that position. I'm almost tempted to say, just get the Vills, just pull the Vills and take down this dock.
That's the Donzo who still has his spear. Because like he's got like it looks weird. He's got like a second spear there, so that was a cool idea by MarineLorD. Like he can defend against 2 horsemen and kill them both before he loses a villager with just 1 Donzo. And oh my god, like ships in the night.
Oh, wow, isn't that just so beautiful to watch? Like these guys are just at that level. MarineLorD just quite literally. No, the wolf. The wolf.
Is he finessing? Like, I mean, this is serpentining right now. If he somehow goes north and dodges this again. No, it's going to get found. Really? Really? Oh, no, VortiX.
Oh, wow. This now, we are gaming, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you just have to watch it, right? Like, there's no words that really...
I think we should just made like noises from horror movies, right? Like, wait, that's looking like a very plump wolf right now.
Oh, MarineLorD, you can serpentine all you like, but at the end of the day, the Slytherin got.
Oh, he's been munched upon there. It was a nice thing to see, a whoopsie-daisy into a bigger whoopsie-daisy. But at the end of the day, MarineLorD is still coming out ahead, right? Dock has been burnt down, and you can't get back here. And VortiX is now, interesting enough, not going for the Deerstone that we've been seeing frequent. He's going for the Silver Tree. You have to wonder if someone's looking for the gold fix this game.
He's got some ideas. I like this. Honestly, I feel like Silver Tree is just the go-to landmark, except on that map. Was it Dry Canal? I think it's called.
Dry River.
Dry River. Yeah,
So
you don't want to go for the Silver Tree there.
No,
Let me tell you now, ladies and gentlemen.
do that, folks.
Not.
Dude, you had the same thing that I had when I first was casting them because you've got Dry River and Rocky Canyon, and I like to tease Biddling because they do look kind of similar. And
exactly right. Like the only difference is you can build docks in one and you can't build docks in the other, right? Because they've got the water in the middle, don't they? I'm pretty sure on both.
So the Rocky Canyon one has little ponds. I think some of them spawn big enough for a dock, but there's no fish.
Right. Okay.
So if you don't pay attention, you might have a moment like someone in the Red Bull tournament where you get confused and you think it's a different map, right? Oh, I still feel bad.
Let's not name any names.
No, we're gonna lie. It's much funner to not name names and then Reddit threads go up going, who are they talking about?
For anybody wondering, we're talking about the Muslim.
Definitely. Yep. Good old Ben.
We're not. We're talking about Viper.
He's a very honest guy. I think he even talked about it. That's why we changed Medi's name. It's Oasis now. Which
Mediterranean. I remember when the devs found out, they're like, oh okay, that's bad. we need to change that right now. And yeah, anyway. All right, well, let's talk a little bit more about this game. We're 6 minutes into it at the moment, and no real sign of too much progression just yet. The main thing to keep an eye on is going to be the Mongol trade. That's going to be a big factor throughout this. Now, at the moment, the trade's not going to be looking the healthiest, but that's okay, because it always starts small. From little things, big things grow.
But that means there's many bigger things to shoot at, which MarineLorD could easily do, right? Like, trade, it's a slow, gradual build-up. It can be pretty potent at times. And if VortiX's goal is to go for a fast castle, this play works out. But if he plays like a skirted feudal, I think like MarineLorD's fishing could benefit him more. So I am expecting just fast castle into Lancer unlock for the Mongols.
I really like this position for VortiX.
Yeah.
This feels very, very good to me. It does get scouted by MarineLorD, though. So MarineLorD's got a couple of options here, but I feel like the best thing he could just be doing is just start walling out this western corner.
Okay, hear me out. You know how like we talk about spearmen sucking against traders? What about donzos? Because like
God tier against
hull
traders.
spears and then run in, right? It's actually not bad.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's actually decent. Do you remember the old days where spearmen like 3-shot traders?
Yes. Can we have those back, please? Like this. Look, these poor guys. Honestly, they don't even have sandals on right now. Barefoot, they just ran across the map. They deserve this.
Go trader, go. He's going to look to try and hand in the gold here. he gets it. Surely he gets it. Surely he gets it. He gets it. Jeez, that was close.
That was literally like what, less than half a second difference.
Yep. And now we got the next ones coming through. I mean, these guys almost certain to get through. As long as they make the connection, they are going to be fine because they're going to be rewarding VortiX with enough gold to justify a continued investment in his trade. And he gets both of them in.
But it delays his timing, right? Like the thing I'm a bit worried about for VortiX is like you can see by the outposts he intended to boom this, right? So MarineLorD in the meantime has been fishing. I think MarineLorD now just can go fast castle in theory, right? Like he's going to be harassed at home, so maybe VortiX just blocks that. But if this harassment isn't there, there's a world in which MarineLorD just comes over the top, fast castles, and we're looking at a Farimba rush.
Yeah, that's true. But you got to remember the Mongols trade scales so quickly.
Yes.
It really, really scales. And even if you lose these traders, remember, he's got the trade trick working at the moment. This is something that we've talked about earlier on in the stream. But basically, one of the real reasons why trade is so powerful at the moment is because even if these traders do go down, VortiX is going to be able to replace these traders, and they're only going to have to do half of a trip because his landmark, which is building the traders, is right next to the market.
Yes, and by the way, like something to highlight here, this play is what enables VortiX to be this greedy. Like, if I didn't catch this originally, and we panned on it and started talking about it, it's like this Archer raid slows down MarineLorD's timing. He can't just like rush up comfortably, right? He doesn't continue to boom his fishing eco as fast as he wants because of the great migration of villagers that's forced by these archers.
Yeah, this is it's getting worse for MarineLorD every second that continues on in this game.
And it's about to get worse.
Yes.
Chop
through coming through right now for VortiX.
Oh,
just
boy.
being absolutely so freaking annoying. Gosh, there's nothing more annoying than like a cheeky little chop through like that. One villager now just going to build an outpost. Like, this outpost is not going to get up, but he's just being annoying with it. He knows that he's going to draw attention.
But like, what do you do in this situation? You can see he's just trying to get some sofas to flood the field. His heavy investment is not fast. There's just so many troops here and so many losses from MarineLorD. They built the outpost up with what feels like 1 million villagers, but I'm sorry, there's just simply not enough rooms in the inn. You can take the stables if you want.
You're not. I'm not going to say it.
I mean, it feels like he might need some divine intervention at this rate. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah. You can see him forcing back that villager there. The outpost is not going to get up. Let's take a look and see how many traders we've got for VortiX on that trade route, though. That's the thing that's going to interest me. Is he up to double digits yet?
He's up
on
to
those traders.
10 or 12, I think. That must be
Musofadi's
13.
doing some pretty decent work there. Yeah, 13 traders at the moment. So slowly and steadily doing well.
This guy's just going to go unnoticed the entire time.
Donzo and a Musofadi just chilling out on just killing vills?
This is a story to be written, I'm telling you. You know, like, you got the adventures of Bilbo Baggins. I want to hear about the adventures of Musofadi. What do we call them? We need to give him a name. Musofadi Tim.
You know, something tells me that this Musofadi is not actually a Tim, but I think it may be a girl.
Oh, okay.
All Musofadi. Oh my god, that outpost actually got up. All Musofadi are women.
Oh, okay.
So this is not a Tim. This is not a Jim, but it could be a Jemima.
Marie.
It could be a Temima.
No, like we can come up. We keep giving names. Let's just give me a name. So this is Tim, right? This one is Tim.
Yeah, that one's definitely Tim. Donzo is definitely Tim. I think Mary the Musofadi.
Mary and Tim. It's Tim's Adventures and Mary. What were we doing with that? Mary's Miraculous Mirage because she's a Musofadi because she can, like, you know, just make you think she's there.
Yeah, she can go stealth.
There you go.
Yeah,
we figured it out.
That's good. I'll accept that. Is this the first pit mine we're seeing in this game?
I think so.
It is, yeah.
I've been waiting for a while.
Yeah, we haven't actually seen one yet. So, interesting
Wait,
development.
no, sorry, he had his start. But in terms of his second one is what you're saying, right? Like, his extension, he had his first, but, like, it took a long time to build his feudal age pit mine.
I'll be honest, I was talking about the first one.
But, I've got you covered. It's fine,
yes.
Drongo.
Yes.
Or should I say,
exactly.
Dronzo? Should we call you Tim?
Yes, you can call me Tim, and you'll go as Mary.
Thank you.
It's 2023. You're allowed to be.
I want to be Antoinette. Can I be like a Mary Antoinette here? You know?
You're just Mary. You're Mary the Musofadi, and that's your life now.
Musofadi Mary. Well, okay. If I was a Musofadi right now, I'd feel good with what I've done with my life because I've murdered a lot of people and I'm still alive and continue to murder them. But now, the Rohirrim boys are here. Look at this raiding.
These warrior scouts move quickly through the night. Same with the sofa. It's a beautiful surround. More villager kills going to be going down. MarineLorD up to 25 worker kills this game. I mean, we talked earlier about the prospect of VortiX having a really solid game here. But
yep, this doesn't look very solid.
Position continued to increase, doesn't it?
So this is once again feigning strength while being weak. VortiX put everything into this frontal assault. He's going to achieve the Great Migration, but this is a trade-off both ways. Remember, behind this MarineLorD, he still has a lot of food gathering on the water. There's not admittedly enough room to save all these villagers. And VortiX will take out at least half of them, but I still feel like this game is muddled. It's not clear who has the win.
This is such a scrappy game. There are so many worker kills going down here. Traders just getting slaughtered on the backside of this. Meanwhile, in the base of MarineLorD, villagers just run circles around the town center.
I think that's where we're going, right? Like, it's just loop-de-loop.
Get Benny Hill out because we're doing circles.
So here's the benefit of what's happening here. Like, they are both hurting from this, but it's like VortiX's eco is away from a TC. So MarineLorD is losing a lot less units while killing eco compared to VortiX. And once again, remember, MarineLorD, like, he has got that docks on the side. He's got plenty of fishing to kind of, like, subsidize his eco. He doesn't need to be as focused on losing villages, whereas VortiX, it feels like these traders are do or die for him.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the biggest thing for VortiX is that he is losing his army, and in the short term, he's going to have a lot of trouble defending what he needs to, which is going to be the Silver Tree.
And we just outpost. Just obnoxiously walk past the outpost, dying in the process. This is an ambitious outpost, Drongo.
Optimistic indeed.
So hear me out.
Yeah.
You lose like half your workforce on land. So then you send like 5 of your remaining villages into no man's land. It's an all-in play. It's very ambitious. Unfortunately for MarineLorD, this time it looks a bit more smooth brain than big brain. Does get caught out.
I love that smooth brain. I love that smooth brain meme. It's hilarious. I relate to it. As a person with not too many wrinkles on the brain, it is a relatable meme for me.
I mean, if your brain's smoother, it looks better on camera, right? And we are on camera. It makes a lot of sense, Drongo. We've got this sorted.
It does. I actually read into that meme. I'm like, what is the deal with smooth brain? Apparently, like the more wrinkles a brain has, like the more developed it is. So having a smooth brain means you've got an underdeveloped brain.
Oh, so if I take my brain out and put it in water, because like your skin, right, it gets more wrinkly. So if I put it in water long enough, I'll be smarter. I'll have to try that one later. I think I've got a scalpel somewhere.
Don't moisturize the brain.
Don't massage essentially the brain. I think we're doing some into people's brains right now. It doesn't feel like an overall positive for them. But right now, these guys are dismantling each other. The raid is coming again. VortiX, this is once again a hard commitment under the TC. The problem is, like, when you kill this many villagers, there is enough room in the garrison to save what's remaining.
He's got only 13 vills in the garrison. 4 are going to be escaping. Probably looking to build an outpost on the enemy side of the map somewhere under threat from enemy units. But it's just this continued scrap. We've got 39 worker kills for MarineLorD, 38 worker kills for VortiX. These guys are so close to each other throughout this game. The key difference here is that you've got trade from VortiX. This is VortiX's out. This is the thing that you've got to continue stopping. You've got to continue to stifle it. And if you don't, you will lose. So MarineLorD's doing the right thing.
But then on the other side, like, MarineLorD still has fishing, right? Like, we really need to check the deep water fish. Because they must be being exhausted or close to at this point. Like, it's been a while, and I think he's more and more heavily relying on it. Oh, no, actually, he's been balancing it reasonably well. I thought this would be more exhausted. Wow, okay.
To me, it almost feels like, you know what stalemates are? It feels like a stalemate. Like, there's so much scrap going on in this game. I feel like people are asking train for scrap. It's just...
You know what it is? You know the Monty Python piece where, like, you know, he's like, I can still fight. He loses all his limbs. Like, we'll call it a draw then. This is that fight, but copy and paste the guy who's lost all limbs. Right? They're both just there, bobbing up and down, like, with no arms, no legs. It's like, I guess this is us.
So trade looks like it's been interrupted completely, right? Once that market goes down in the corner, that's it.
Yep.
That's no more trade, at least.
Where you trade now?
Not for the moment.
And still...
And the traders are also getting killed as well.
Nice guy MarineLorD is just letting him know you probably shouldn't build more traders. Like, you know, I don't want to give you a reason to come build a new marketplace out here. Look at the sofa
And the
count,
longer the game goes, the better it gets for MarineLorD, I think, because he's got this infinite food economy.
And also, it's like the way he's using it. Like, look at the sofa count. This is the problem you now have as VortiX. Even more so when you go Silver Tree. It's Benny Hills. You can't actually gap close these units if MarineLorD is just paying attention and pulling them away.
Unless they get the YAM network and...
Yeah, but like it's only horsemen, right?
Movement speed bonus.
Like you're ticking a lot of boxes here, Drongo, for a very specific situation. And MarineLorD's PC disconnects, and his keyboard and mouse don't work because he bought, like, he's still using the one he had with Windows 98. It's a problem, I'm telling you, Drongo.
So for numbers are looking good for MarineLorD, but yeah, I think this fishing economy is keeping him in the game definitely at this point.
Yeah, he'd be
Question's going to be whether trade can be restarted. If VortiX can restart trade, can solidify that position along the trade line, can find a window into castle. Then there is a world that he wins.
Poor man's trade. Oh, get away from me.
I love that he's going halfway, like to the middle of the map from the corner, and it's like, here, have 41 gold.
So, like,
and then you compare it to this.
Was it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's quadruple the amount of gold for double the distance. Like, obviously, you got to do double the distance. You got to go there and you got to go back, but it's just so crazy the difference.
Like, hard to
mid-map trading is just not even a thing.
No. That's why I think we haven't seen the Bastard trade wing truly take over. It's hard to sell that initial market, but VortiX has had enough. He's like, I can't do this. Death by 1,000 cuts. It's time for my signature rams.
Do it, VortiX. Get him.
A
lot of units here, actually, for him. He's up to 55 military. Take a look at this. VortiX just Is he going all? Is he still making vills? Can we check? He might not be making vills, might not be making traders right now. Let's have a look.
He has to be making vills because he needs food, right?
Nah. Yeah, he just made a vill.
Yeah. Like, he needs food. Like, so there's no way, because he's got the patches set up. Like, he has to just keep pushing units. But, you know, he's embracing the dark side here. And the problem is, like, these sofas were great for raiding, but the reason why it's worked so well is VortiX, every time he's dove the base, he can't end the game. If he builds enough rams here, it will end the game.
MarineLorD wanted to go castle. He still wants to go castle, but he realizes he can't here. He was up to about 65% of the resources needed.
We've got two temptations of the dark side. There's the rams and there's the greed, which will win out. We've seen it multiple times today, and I gotta say, so far, Drongo, the rams have been winning.
Yeah, I definitely think in this matchup that is the case. I mean, if you had an English here instead of a Malians, I'd be tempted to say the English because you'd have the White Tower, which can just get Springalds out and deal with it effectively, or a Mangonel or something like that. But Malians hit castle, they go Farimba, you get 5 more units out. It's not a big deal. So I don't think that it's overly decent for them to even go castle or consider castle at this point. You just got to try and keep yourself alive.
All right. Shuffle truffle time. The boys are on their way in. However, they aren't guarded right now, so that's problematic. Cavalry will get some damage done, but a quick pushback. A lot of spearmen here, by the way. Half of the comp for VortiX is spears. Can be forced to commit them. Chase back. Horsemen just trying to bait fire as they rush in. And remember, if this infrastructure goes down, MarineLorD, even with a defensive advantage, he doesn't have it because he can't produce new units, so he needs to fight soon.
Yeah, nice little micro coming in. Sofa's just looking to hit and run on that front side, trying to whittle down the spearman numbers. You can see the town center firing down towards these units, looking to thin the numbers. Now, keep in mind, the Rams at the moment, not really focused on a single target. The town center continues putting out the pressure, and the numbers for MarineLorD continue to build behind the scenes, but slowly and steadily. And now the Sofa moving up.
He needs to end now, Drongo, because what's happening at home is he's dying. There was a raid in from cavalry onto his wood line, so that was chopping him down as well. That's going to be a hard commitment onto the TC. Remember, we are sitting 22 minutes into a game. Feudal on both sides. It's only 2 landmarks to get a win, and VortiX, it looks like he's about halfway there.
He's doing his best, but there's villagers repairing the town center. 10 still inside. No vills pulled at the moment to deal with these battering rams, but very easily could pop them out and immediately start sieging down these battering rams. More Sofa now going to be looking to link up with this initial batch here at the main base. The question is going to be whether the spear numbers are going to be able to hold. At this point, there's still 28 spears for VortiX, so the numbers are looking thick and thin for it.
Those rams are starting to get heavily injured here. 2 of them could easily be pinched. Spearman count is still up at 25, but you're at a point where you have the raw meat to just slap your opponent around the face with it here. Just so tanky on these Sofas. Remember, like, they can easily exchange out reasonably well one-on-one with spears. And while the TC's on fire, still being maintained, and notice the cavalry has snuck in now. It's half the rams it once was. VortiX is at risk of being pushed back.
This looks like it might be it. I mean, there's still a decent number of units here. The problem is he's lost 2 of his rams.
Yes.
So there's only 2 rams remaining, which means it's much easier to get through with the repairs here.
The archers
10 vills still inside the town center. Town center, where is it firing at? It looks like it's firing at the units still. He's looking to focus down the archers. The numbers here still looking quite solid. I think he's also going to be trying to take out villagers, but I think it might just be a good game. There's no way that this town center goes down, and with that, too many worker kills is going to mean that VortiX is going to have to tap out here. I can't see a way he stays in the game.
You say that, look at VortiX's resources. He was hoarding the gold. He's going to buy up Castle Age.
Oh my god. It's AussieDrongo. It's
You've arrived, my friend. Welcome to the party.
I have arrived,
I'm always
ladies
here.
and gentlemen. The Kurotai is coming down. Just when you thought it was all over for VortiX, Drongo intentionally misled all of the viewers. And now you guys are in absolute amazement at the macro power of VortiX.
I mean, I was just watching that trade line go. I should have interrupted you at some point because there's been the trade Congo line back there. I think he's back up to almost 20 on the trade side. All that while, that pressure underneath the TC, MarineLorD's entire economy flatlined. He was at a point where he was considering Castle Age and he had to reinvest. And now he has to continue that reinvestment. Javelin throwers as a main comp might be a way he can stabilize even after this tech up. But he's now on the clock.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Castle Age. 24 minutes through. You would have thought we started with 6 villages. No, no, no. We started with 12. It is an awfully late Castle Age, but it's good to be here. Better late than never. And now from here, we look at upgrades coming through for VortiX. What are the big ones? Obviously, veterancy on his archers is going to be really important. Any other key factors?
So veterancy on the archers isn't a long-term plan, right? Like, I think it's just mass spears because your opponent's now gone javelin sofas. Like, we talked at the beginning of the day, it's fitting really, about how stupidly powerful spears feel right now. And I actually think that that is the simple answer that could get VortiX a win at this rate.
As long as he's making sure that he gets that YAM network bonus from his outposts. He needs to get that YAM upgrade so that it does affect the spears. In fact, I think he's already picked it up. Take a look at that. He's already got that little glowing buff around some of his units.
This hurts so much to watch. There's a javelin throws, 120 resources each. These lancers, one more and they've already paid for themselves.
Yeah, really, really nice defense here from VortiX. I genuinely can't believe he did that. I didn't even see it coming. I was just like, all right, he's lost 20 vills in that raid back home on the wood line. This was it, all or nothing, and unfortunately, he's lost it. But
it's deceptive, right?
That was a plan.
Because I think he went from like 400 gold up to 1,200, right? Because all the traders just arrived. Like, we brought the goodies, boys. It's always that deceptive thing about trade. There's certain things we talked in the previous game about deer work that way as well, right? We're like, I have no food. Oh, I have 500 food all of a sudden. It's that same kind of feeling. It can just catch you off guard. But VortiX, he knew what he was doing. Those rams got maximum value. They milked MarineLorD dry. Now, MarineLorD, how the hell do you get Castle Age without losing this game?
I tell you what, MarineLorD's not going to be happy about trade after this game. I can feel it, man. It was looking a little bit like that Scrappy game. I know we've mentioned it a couple of times already, but he has shut this trade down repeatedly. And every single time he's able to get back up on his feet. And I can't help but feel like the trade trick is somewhat to blame in this. The fact he's able to keep the silver tree right next to that trading post, he can just pump out the traders non-stop, and it only takes them, what, 70 seconds, 80 seconds to get across the map. And now he's got bigger problems, bigger fish to fry.
It's the cruel tie as well.
Lancers.
Like, the cruel tie is problematic here. It means that usually when you have a defensive advantage, that's kind of mitigated. Defense arrow is going to come out, and I think, no, he hasn't got whistling arrows. That's the only positive for him right now, is that VortiX isn't tanked up that much for 12 seconds. But he's still tanked up long enough to just wipe this army.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Lancers come through. The force is looking strong, and I think we've got ourselves a 2-2 because VortiX has overwhelmed MarineLorD and won against the Malians. What a game right there.
It was a great game for a long time, back and forth, but you mentioned someone on the trade, and I think we can't go any further without talking about it. MarineLorD, I think he won't mind us saying, he was in the chat yesterday, he was giving his opinion. He's not happy with where trade is in the game right now. And the reason I highlight that is even a player as composed, as experienced, and as talented as MarineLorD could be put on tilt by a game like that.
It looked really, really difficult. We see right here the economic count. MarineLorD throughout that game doing his best to keep down VortiX. VortiX obviously looking to do the same. It was relentless, the amount of pressure that he was putting out. But in the end, all VortiX needed was 2 or 3 minutes where he wasn't being touched, wasn't being impacted, wasn't being raided. And that was all that he needed to carry him through to the Castle Age, through to carry the game.
Makes you wonder.
Well played from VortiX. Great exploit of, not great exploit, but great use of trade.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, right? Like, what's better, liquid or gold? Liquid gold. It is what we just learned here, right? Trade is dominant for good reason. It continues to prove that. Mongols really were the key to this in the early days, right? Like, the Mongols were the go-to civ that everyone was like, that's where we're seeing trade be busted. And it kind of like, I feel like it went dormant in the last few weeks, right? Like, we've seen plenty of Mongols, but it hasn't been about that. It's been about Deerstone. It's been about horseman rushes. It's maybe been about an outpost here or there. But we get back to their roots, and we see that even though it's been dormant, it still remains brutally oppressive.